Going for boost over. Well, I think going for boost if you're a boost merchant, like someone like AJ or someone, you go for boost.
100% of the time.
Yes.
Always, every second of every game. Ball's going in your net, don't worry about it. Go get the boost and make sure you've got the full 100 to celebrate with the other team.
Oh God. Never. Yeah, never. Always go for ball.
Yeah.
Number one rule of Rocket League.
Welcome to the Boost Over Ball podcast, where three aggressively average Rocket League players talk about everything RLCS with your hosts, Ace, Code Red Jack, Kyle Cube, and AJ Binky. So, if you've ever wondered when the best time to go for Boost Over Ball is, you've come to the right place.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Boost Over Ball podcast. To listeners new and old, hello and welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first episode, you're in for a good one as we recap the Open Qualifier number 1, Major 1 North America, as well as taking you guys around the world of Rocket League from the other results from the other regions. I'm Kyle, K-Cube. I'm here today with AJ Binky. Another day in paradise. How's your day been?
Pretty miserable. Work sucked, but then there was Rocket League, so
Yeah.
it was pretty good.
It does make it significantly better when we have some high-level Rocket League to watch, so I'm thankful for that.
It definitely helps.
Yeah, indeed. For those who aren't familiar with the format, this was a Swiss-style bracket where we're trying to find the top 8 teams out of the top 16 teams. So once you win 3 matches, you move on. Once you lose 3 matches, you're eliminated, and you keep playing until everybody has either been won 3 or lost 3 games. So this will then filter into a single elimination bracket style for the top 8. So with that, the teams that have qualified for the top 8 and moving on, going 3-0 is M80, going 3-0 G2 Stride, 3-1 Dignitas, 3-1 Gen G Mobile One Racing, 3-1 Space Station Gaming, 3-2 Pirates on a Boat, 3-2 Luminosity Gaming, 3-2 Shopify Rebellion, and the teams that were eliminated going 2-3 are the Snowmen, going 2-3 NRG, going 2-3 Young Whippersnappers, going 1-3 Deleted XD, going 1-3 TSM, 1-3 the Muffin Men, 0-3 Plot Twist, and 0-3 OG Gaming.
Wait, OG was 0-3?
Yeah.
I thought they won one.
They won 1 match.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that sucks.
They did
That's
not.
rough.
They did not have a good showing. They won.
I didn't realize that.
They won Game 3 in overtime against Gen G, and that was the only game that they won the entire Swiss.
That's rough.
Yeah, they get
So-
they get swept in two of 3 overtime games by Dignitas in round 2, and in round 3, they just get straight swept by Pirates on a Boat.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you've kind of touched on it on one of them. I was going to talk about the biggest surprises of today's matches. For me, the biggest one has to be OG.
Yeah. I don't understand how that could have even happened.
I
But
mean, you kind of
they
took the
did.
words
Here we
right
are.
out of my mouth there.
yeah.
With a -8 goal differential, they officially go out in 16th out of 16th place.
Like, on paper, they're nuts, right?
Yeah.
But I guess that doesn't always transfer to practicality.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough draw for them going up against Gen G first, right? Like, I understand that, but, like, and Dignitas
Sure.
proved to be a good team. But, you know, they should be taking games off Dignitas. They should be certainly taking games off Pirates on a Boat, in my
I
personal
thought for
opinion.
sure they were going to beat Dignitas.
I kind of did too, but Dignitas rebounded in a huge way after getting swept by Shopify to sweep OG, to sweep TSM, to sweep Luminosity straight through. So they were only involved in sweeps, but, you know, they certainly had a good showing. So, I mean, Pirates on a Boat too looked like they, you know, kind of found their footing after getting swept by Space Station, going to Game 5 with NRG, and then sweeping OG, 3-1ing TSM, and sweeping Young Whippersnappers. So they kind of found their footing as they went along, but I just really bad showing from OG. I was not a big fan of the way of NRG's run. I think that they certainly did not perform as well as they would have hoped. But we'll talk about them again here in a couple of minutes about we have the biggest winners and losers. But another one, they just missed the cut, but the Snowmen, they get reverse swept by Shopify in round 5 to be eliminated. But, that's a great showing for them. Like that, it's the youngest team in RLCS. They certainly did. They showed some incredible talent with Scribbles, Reveal, and Frosty. Notably, you have Frosty, being released from NRG, and then jumping on this team, the Snowmen, and they actually performed better than NRG. They will get more prizing. They, finished better than NRG did, which is kind of funny to me.
Yeah, Frosty was talking about the whole NRG situation on the last Chalked cast. So, if you want to know more about that situation and what exactly happened, go check that out because it's a good listen.
Yeah, I would agree. But with that, let's jump into our biggest winners and losers, and we can talk a little bit more in depth about that stuff, because I think that these are kind of the biggest storylines, in my opinion, coming out of the Swiss. So our biggest winners, first and foremost, I have M80. I thought that they'd be good. The desk was talking about it during some of the series, and I kind of agreed. They on paper they're a good team. They have good players, right? Nas is a great ones player. We've certainly seen Joria's carry his team, and we've seen AJ go super nuclear before. But I didn't know that they're going to be that good, right? I didn't know that they were going to be they were going to pass the vibe check like that.
It's like the exact opposite of OG. As
Yeah,
much as I hate to say it.
I mean, everyone kind of
But,
thought OG.
Yeah, they'll be all right.
Exactly.
And then they drop one game. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, they 3-1 Gen G. They lost game 1, and then they took it to them from there. They looked incredible, and they are your top seed coming out of the Swiss, which I can't say that I expected at all.
No. Props to them.
Yeah, for sure. Our second winner for me is Pirates on a Boat. They come back from being down 0 series to 2 in the Swiss, which is incredibly hard to do. I think probably Achieves helped them a little bit there, helped level the ship, so to speak. They come back from a tough Game 5 loss to NRG to sweep OG, although that turned out to be not not the biggest result. But they get the wins where they can. They beat TSM and Young Whippersnappers in order after that to qualify. So if I had to guess, I would say that this roster is not long for the Orgless group.
I would be shocked if they don't have an org by the next qualifier.
I would agree. I think that they performed very well. I think 5UP and Andy really did a great job. I can't say enough good things about their run. Being able to come back from that giant mental block, being down 0-2, and winning your next 3 games when the pressure's on. That's awesome stuff, and I'm hoping to see some good things from them moving forward.
Yeah, it's gotta take a lot mentally, being down 0-2 and having to win the next 3. Can't even imagine.
Yeah, especially when you're coming up against teams that like TSM, that's a lose and go home game, right? And so you're able to knock TSM out, and then again having another lose and go home match against Young Whippersnappers, who are in the same boat. I mean, they eliminated 3 teams, and that's ice in their veins,
That's super impressive.
And then last but not least in my winners, I actually am going to single out a player on this one, and for me it's going to be Cheese. From from Luminosity Gaming. I think Luminosity really turned some heads. I think their play style worked very well. They're a hyper-aggressive team. They send their first man in for bumps, demos, disruption plays. They never really let you get comfortable in your own half, which is, very different than a lot of the play styles that we currently see. I think Cheese had a phenomenal day. Again, ultimately G2 ended up taking the series, but against G2 he had a bunch of saves. The defense was really on against Muffin Men, and he really facilitated some fast breaks from defense to offense, and really played a big part in Luminosity's top 8 run. But
Yeah, good work, Cheese.
woo! But did I miss anybody, or is there anybody that you would have added to this list?
I'd say Nast. Like, we know he's incredible at ones. We know he's good at twos. But, I mean, I don't think anybody was really sure if he'd translate to threes or not. And it turns out he did.
Yeah, I mean, most notably, he played in 2023 with SK Gaming. But, before that, and he played with Scrub Kill a little bit too. But, kind of really more of an unknown name. He makes the roster move with the region transfer with Jorias, and they seemingly have not looked back. They looked fantastic, dropping 3 games total. So I think that's a good ad. Now
I feel like we need to talk about Raul Diaz's tweet.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like we had 2 more Europeans coming over, showing how bad NA is, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of.
He's not wrong.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, it kind of does seem that way, right? Because you look at these top teams, right, and it's M80 with 2 EU transfers. It's Gen G with a region transfer. It's it's weird to see. I mean, even Creams is technically a region transfer, right? He's Welsh, but
Where's he from?
Okay. Wales. But
Gotcha.
Other than like Nolly, another one from OG, but like realistically, it's kind of because Complexity leaves, because Furia leaves. That's a lot of the region transfers. So you in my eyes, you have apparently Jack, you have Noli, you have Jorias and Nas, and in the top 16 right now, that's like really all of your representation. So we certainly see the region transfers having a big impact early on, but I'm interested to see how things go if people kind of adjust to the play style, or similar to how Gen G went last year, if they can just continue to roll with it.
I would be very surprised if they continue it, but I mean, what, Gen G got like 2 of 3 regionals first place or something like that? Like they made all the finals or something, right?
Yeah.
Like it was just an absolute boss run. Like there's no way M80 is going to be able to reproduce that.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly passed the vibe check thus far, but I mean,
yeah,
I'm like, they had a good day, right? And I don't know if that's them popping off and having a good day, or if this is sustainable for them. So I think using the rest of this weekend to kind of figure out exactly what they are is going to be necessary to determining what they can do moving forward.
Yep.
But with that, I think let's move down to our biggest losers from today. First and foremost being NRG, losing to Young Whippersnappers, Shopify, and getting swept by Luminosity. They never really looked like they were in control. It showed they need to change something heading into Regional 2. I mean, going to Game 5 with Young Whippersnappers, going to Game 5 with Pirates on a Boat, Shopify, like 3 Game 5s, and then, they're able to pull out a sweep, and you think, okay, maybe they're going to claw their way out of it, and Luminosity just come and run the show. I mean, I just, like, I hate bagging on it because, like, I have nothing against Toasty personally, right? I'm sure he's a fantastic human being. He's a really good Rocket League player. I don't know that it was necessarily the right fit for NRG. I mean, again, it's early, right, to say that. It's not like the first event isn't even all the way over yet. But, you have a 9-month off season and you end up with Toasty at the 11th hour. Like, it's NRG. They are one of the premier esports organizations in North America, potentially in the world. Like, you have the resources to pick up a Chicago, an Arsenal, if you so desired, something like that. And it's just, it seems to me like this maybe wasn't necessarily the best move. They could get better, but it seems like a flop to me thus far.
Yeah, I agree. Really not much to add to that.
Yeah.
They didn't do great.
No, they did not. Secondly, on my loser list, I have the Muffin Men. Not necessarily for any other reason than, the fans expected a lot from them. Gibbs was talking about his power rankings that are going to come out tomorrow, but he kind of had them in that 9th to 11th range. But, winning a Game 5 series against Deleted and going to Game 5 with Luminosity were kind of really the highlights of their day. They get swept by Energy, they get swept by M80. The M80 result, I'm not really surprised by seeing how they did, but getting swept by Energy, it just seems like kind of really a pretty big letdown for them.
I feel like it should be the Muffin Men's fans in this spot, not necessarily the Muffin Men.
I'd buy that. I think that's a better.
I wasn't.
Or the Squishy fanboys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a better one to amend it to either Squishy fanboys or the Muffin Man fans, because you could be gimmick fans and still or Aqua.
In fact, I am a gimmick fan.
Yeah. Hey.
Former Torrent.
Yeah.
Player.
But and then
Torrent.
Yeah. And then last but not least, and in my opinion, probably the biggest loser from this from today, OG. We talked about it a little bit at the beginning. They win one match. They have a -8 goal differential or game differential. They get swept by Dignitas. They get swept by Pirates on a Boat, and they never looked good. They never looked comfortable.
No, they didn't.
These players are too good to perform this poorly, in my personal opinion. Right? We were a little bit. We've been a little bit lukewarm on Noli. He's the highs are high, but the lows are low. JNAP certainly, and Com. We would guess that they have the talent to be able to help bridge that, because when Nolly's peaking, he could be one of the best players in the world.
They definitely have the talent. Like, individually, all three of them are crazy. Like, Com's being like he was showing up like Beast Mode and Daniel.
He's one of the reigning Gamers 8 champions.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
say what you will about his teammates, but he still won.
Yeah. And it's not like he wasn't doing anything.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm very intrigued when they post the replays to ball chasing, so I can get into it, because I'd love to see some of the stuff that happened, because like it's kind of hard to explain, or hard to like understand, I guess is a better word, how this result happened. Right? Like they came in with such high like expectations, like they were passing the vibe check. The players in the region were very high on them. Gibbs said they were very high in the power rankings. They have proven winners on their team, right? And to just come out and kind of shit the bed as they did is very, very surprising.
I mean, they made the Swiss, but like that team is a team that should not be satisfied with just. I didn't realize what was happening. That's hilarious. Yeah, OG is not a team that should be satisfied with just making the Swiss round. Like they are plenty good.
Yeah, and I mean
to even win the event. Like, yeah, there's teams that are gonna win it over them, but like, I thought they were top 4, easy.
I kind of did too. So, I think that they'll have to look to regroup in a big way. For the next regional, their run is done. I certainly expect, and a lot of people expect more from them. So hopefully they can get it figured out and they can go on a bigger run for the next time. But like you said, they did make top 16, even if it was barely through lower brackets and double elim. But certainly they were at the dance, and they had 2 left feet today. But maybe next time they won't.
Let's hope not.
Yeah. But now I think it's time for your best series of the day. You got one for us?
Best series of the day: M80 versus Gen G. Gen G was doing great. Gen G was doing incredible. They looked fantastic, super physical. Just absolutely, it seemed like they were just dominating. M80 comes in and stops that entirely. And like, it felt like M80 was just dominant the entire series, and I feel like it just made Gen G look stupid almost. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to describe, but like, it felt like they were on Gen G's half the entire series.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick. I mean, it seemed to me like when Gen G came out against OG, against Shopify, they were playing their game, right? They were doing everything that they wanted to do on the field, and no one was going to stop them, right? The pre-jumps, the double touches, the first killer mechanics.
Oh my god, the pre-jumps, yes.
They were doing everything that they wanted to do and more, and then the M80 game happened. They played game 1. It looked like Gen G was going to continue to roll, and then all of a sudden, M80 said, "You know what? We can start playing now." And they turned it on and absolutely flipped the script.
Yeah, they stomped them.
So hats off to M80 again. That's why they're our biggest winner from today, and that's a great series. I think that's a great pick. So now everybody's favorite time making fun of us for our predictions. Although they can't make fun of us too bad on this one. Both of us went 6 for 8 in our top 8 predictions. We both missed on TSM and OG, and we were both you were successful on Space Station, Pirates on a Boat, G2, Gen G, Luminosity, and Shopify. And I was in for Gen G, Space Station, G2, Dignitas, Pirates on a Boat, and Shopify. So you pulled out Luminosity, and I pulled out Dignitas.
Oh, yep.
So
yep.
Big wins for us there.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, no, hitting pretty good.
Are we actually getting good at this?
We might be.
75%. That's a pen grade.
Hey, that's
C's get degrees.
Yes, they do. So now I figure it's time for us to push our luck and to predict a top 4 and to predict a winner. So they've already made, like, the bracket has been released for playoffs, and in the quarterfinals we have M80 versus Shopify, Gen G versus Space Station, G2 versus Luminosity, and Dignitas versus Pirates on a Boat.
Liquipedia is a godsend.
So realistically, you just have to pick the winners of each quarterfinal matchup and then a grand final winner.
I feel like this is easy.
I kind of thought so too. I'm interested if we come to the same conclusions.
Yeah. So I can't do it on Wikipedia. I was thinking I was in that
the bracket predictor
prediction spreadsheet. Yeah, that's so nice.
Just read them out and I can throw them in for you.
Okay. M80.
Yep.
Gen G.
Yep.
G2.
Yep.
And I want to say Pirates on a Boat here.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So we'll be a little bit different then because I have Dignitas over Pirates on a Boat. But hey,
yeah,
I'm here. I'm here for it.
I mean, that's probably what's gonna go down. But
hey, I mean, Pirates on a Boat looked good.
I'm here for
they're carrying a lot of momentum.
Yeah, let's get them an award.
Yeah, I'm here for it. And then who do you have winning?
Grand finals is gonna be G2 M80, and then G2 is gonna win.
Okay. I also have G2 winning. So this will be interesting to see what happens with us, as I have M80, Gen G, G2, and Dignitas with G2 winning. So this should be interesting. I think that, it's like you said, I think it's pretty straightforward until you get to that Dignitas Pirates on a Boat series. So I'm very intrigued to see what happens there. I'd love to
Yeah.
see some more upsets. I'd love to see Space Station beat Gen G, but I don't think that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So hopefully one of us will be 100% right. That would be fantastic.
It would be cool.
But was there anything else that you wanted to talk about before we take everyone around the world?
Nah.
Okay.
Do it.
With that, we'll take you guys around the world, check in with some of the results from the other regions, every other region besides EU, and we'll start out in OCE. So we'll just do a quick rundown. We'll give you the teams that have made it into the top 8 and give our thoughts on it. So the teams making the top 8 in OCE are Kaka's Minions, Tiki Taka, Ground Zero, Pioneers, Power, Long Red Cordial, Chiefs, and Gremlins. So, I mean, we talked about it a little bit
Top
last.
8 best name.
Long Red Cordial.
I was thinking Tiki Taka
Uh,
or Gremlins.
Nah, I think Tiki Taka is better. I think
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, I think you're right. Tiki Taka.
But I think we
Yeah.
talked about it a little bit last time. I think that, we kind of expected Chiefs, Power, Pioneers, Ground Zero kind of to be the 4 that we're going to kind of run through the region. So I think that I don't think anything has changed from that. I think that that's like what we'd expect. And I think that that's
Who wins?
exactly. I think it's Power.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do.
I'll go Chiefs.
Okay. I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
So,
Should be fun.
But,
All
hey-
right. I'll take Sam.
yup.
So, top 8 for Sam, we got Crew, Hero Base, Shaman Esports, Complexity, Furia, Secret, Ninjas in Pajamas, and Bodybuilders.
Best name Ninjas in Pajamas.
Ninjas in Pajamas.
Heck yeah.
I believe they were best name in top 16 too.
Yes, I think that they were.
Pretty straightforward then. Seeing as they're still in it. Who wins?
Furia.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
I'd love to see Crew, and also
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I got to root for Team Secret. They got the homie Brad.
Yeah. You can't root against Brad.
No, you can't. And also, I'm kind of here for the redemption arc for AJG, playing with Crew.
Yeah.
So they are number 1 seed heading in with 2 sweeps and a game 5 against Shaman, where Fury is coming in right behind them at the other 3-0 team. So I'll be very interested to see what happens here. I can certainly see a Crew Furia Grand Finals. I think that would be awesome to see. I think maybe Complexity a little bit surprised to not be 3-0 after getting swept by Furia. So I'm sure that they certainly expected to do a little bit better than that. So
Sure hope so.
it's going to be an interesting region like we talked about before, and I'm
Yeah.
here for it.
Me too. That'll be fun.
Okay, let's jump over to MENA now, to Middle East North Africa. So MENA, their schedule is 1 day ahead of everyone else, so their regional will wrap up tomorrow instead of Sunday. So I will run down the teams that have made the top 8, and then I will run down the teams that have made the top 4 into semifinals. So making the top 8 are Falcons, Awa Awa, Fivehead, Fearless, Rule 1, Ex Oblivion, Twisted Minds, and Infinity. And then your top 4 are Falcons, Fearless, Rule 1, and Infinity. First and foremost, kind of the big takeaways, at least for me, is Infinity taking down Twisted Minds in the quarterfinals 4-1. It wasn't particularly close. Twisted Minds picking up Mason in the offseason after Rule 1 kind of, I don't want to say disbanded, but like they're all 3 members of their team are gone. So I think I would have expected a little bit more from Twisted Minds, but cool to see even further that this region is full of up and coming talent.
Yeah, that's cool to see. Top 8, best name stays the same.
Stays
Fivehead.
It stays Fivehead, yeah, for sure.
Yep. Top 4. This one's a bit more difficult.
Rule 1.
Really? I was thinking Falcons.
Yeah, I mean it's a toss up. I think
Like
that
I get the rule one. I get it. But I think I'm gonna stick with Falcons for this one.
okay. I could accept that.
And who wins? Who wins top 4?
Rule 1. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I think it's rule 1.
I think Falcons will be a close second. I certainly think that we see Falcons Rule 1 Grand Finals, which is going to be extremely interesting with Khalid
Different sides of the
Ahmed.
bracket.
Yeah, with Khalid and Ahmed
Yeah.
making their return against Falcons. Same with Rawas and Killers teaming with TRK now. So I think that it's going to be an awesome match if we get it.
All right, let's go deeper. What's the series score gonna be for the Falcons and Fearless match?
4-0.
Okay, and Rule 1 Infinity. I agree for the record.
4-1.
You think it's 4-1?
Yes.
I'll go 4-0. Double sweep semifinals, grand finals. What do we think?
4-3 Rule 1.
Really?
Yep.
I'm thinking 4-2.
Okay, I can see it.
Okay.
I think we're pretty close on that one. Just 2 games off, so
Right.
I'm gonna be
That'd be
interested
interesting.
to watch it though. So,
Yeah, for sure. Cool.
but you want to take us away with APAC?
Let's do it. APAC. Top 8, Gladiators, Detonator, Chapati Dream, Elevate, 0545 Reveille, Bokatachi, and Sailing Esports.
It's got to be between Bokatachi and Chapati Dream.
I feel like Bokatachi takes it.
I think so
Right?
too. It's more fun to say.
I feel like is pretty good too, though.
It kind of is. It's all in caps too, which makes it even better.
Yeah. It probably like stands for something, I would imagine, but who knows?
I'm just gonna stay oblivious and say that it's
I know. That's what's the saying? Ignorance is bliss.
Yep. I will be ignorant until they change the name.
Yep, me too. All right, let's go Bokatachi with the name though. Who wins top? Who wins the overall?
Who wins overall? It's got to be Gladiators for me.
Who's on Elevate? Aren't they like?
It's LCT, Kevin, and Sphinx. So LCT, the only remaining player from the original Elevate team, and on Game of Gladiators we have Maxu, Virtuoso, and Realize.
Oh, yeah, you're right then.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, it's Gladiators, and it's not super particularly close.
Yeah, I agree.
So, and then last but not least, we have Sub-Saharan Africa, SSA. We've talked about them a lot. They've kind of been the center of attention due to a lot of teams signing up for the SSA regional as opposed to open qualifier instead of their own. So the teams making top 8 are Limitless, Los Angeles Signal, Firehawks, Shmongolia, Young Money Clan, The Elites, NXT Aqua Vitesse, and Bonjour. I would like to note that Young Money Clan, NXT Aqua Vitesse, and Firehawks are non-SSA teams competing in the region. So we have 5 of 8 teams are from the region and 3 are not. So
Yeah, it sucks. Sucks for SSA teams, but
first and foremost, best name.
oh, I know.
Okay, what's yours?
Shmongolia.
Yep, I agree.
100%. How could you vote against that? That's a great name.
Just a little bit upset that Sesame Street Ballers was eliminated.
I know. Yep,
That's such a good name.
it is. It is.
But so I was watching a little bit of this is like to go back to that debate that we've talked about that teams from other regions playing in SSA. We talked about I was watching I was watching Tryhouse's stream, which I would recommend doing, by the way, for watch parties. He did a like a NFL Red Zone style broadcast. He had all the streams up and he was switching between them as you know, as the games got close. It was a lot of fun to see. Can't say enough good things about him. So he was talking about it and saying, you know, if these teams are competing in SSA, hopefully they're scrimming in SSA, right? So like it really gives the SSA teams better competition to scrim against, and will eventually help make them better down the line. He used the example of originally before Rule 1, before Twisted Minds kind of made their appearance in MENA, that the Team Falcons guys would not scrim against teams in their own region because it wouldn't benefit them. It would make the other teams better, and it wouldn't really, you know, Falcons wouldn't really get anything out of it. That's why they tried to play on EU servers. They tried to compete in tournaments against EU, things like that. Whereas hopefully the Young Money Clan, Firehawks, these guys are scrimming and competing in the region so that it at least gives SSA some kind of competitiveness that they otherwise would not have gotten.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, for some reason I highly doubt it, but you know that's what we have to hope for.
You cynic.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I agree.
Can you blame me?
No, not
Because
at
like,
all.
if you're gonna have like any kind of ping issues, like you'll deal with it so that you can make a top 8. Why would you queue scrims or anything like that in that region when you could scrim or queue against players in your own region that are better and have lower ping?
I mean,
anyway,
the one thing is that I could think of, it'd be like to get used to the ping, you know. But even then, I feel like they'd gain more from playing on the different regions.
yeah, I would tend to agree.
Which is unfortunate.
It is, but you know, hopefully we'll see Limitless do well. But do you have a prediction on who wins this?
Shmongolia.
Okay.
I don't know any of these teams, so
I'm saying
going with Shmongolia.
I'm saying Limitless. It's their region to lose. They you know, perfect swept. No, they dropped one match. I'm sorry. Against Shmongolia.
Hey, let's get it, Shmongolia.
Yeah. So, but with that, that's our last region for our taking you guys around the world. Is there anything that you want to add about Swiss or anything in general before we wrap up for today?
When's the trade window?
After the major.
After the major?
Which April 1st, I believe, is when the trade window officially opens.
That's right. That's a mistake.
Yeah, it definitely is.
In that case, then no.
Okay. Well, with that, we would like to thank you guys so much for listening. Please remember to follow us on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, join our Discord, rate us wherever you listen to podcasts, check out Twitch, TikTok, and our merch store. All of these links and more can be found on our website at boostoverball.com. From us here on the show, as always, remember to choose Boost over Ball.
Thank you for listening to the Boost Over Ball podcast. Make sure to check out our website, www.boostoverball.com, and rate us wherever you listen to podcasts.